Welcome. Welcome to Manifestation Mondays with Marcy. I'm your host, Marcy Newman, also known as a Heart Shift Coach. Now today, I want to talk with you about how it is absolutely essential that if you want to create, you need to step outside of your borders. Now, in my last video, I talked about an example that I had given of a person who had been jonesing for Chinese food the whole day long. And in their mind, they had this restaurant, they had the dish all picked out, they had been visualizing, sitting there, delighted with anticipation of eating that food. And then their friend called and said, well, why don't you meet me at a different restaurant and we can have some time together? And that person decided that that was what they wanted to do. Now, in that scenario, what happened was, of course, the Chinese food that they received was not what they had anticipated initially in their manifestation, in their visualization. And so the Chinese food was a bit disappointing because the restaurant that they were in was not a Chinese restaurant and wasn't this person's favorite restaurant. And so what they were given was not up to par with what they had been anticipating. And I use that as an example because what it shows us is that there are a number of issues at play with every single thing that we are creating. If that person was completely 100% committed to going to their restaurant, ordering that dish, sitting in their favorite seat, all of the details that they had been daydreaming about, they would have received that, right? They would have gone to that restaurant and had that whole experience. But because of their flexibility, they also allowed themselves a change in venue, which meant also a change in the food that they would receive. But the reward was in spending time with their friend. What I explained to you then is that there's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. It's just, where is your heart? And so today, I want to emphasize how important it is that you are feeling every feeling. This is so important because your energy is what determines the outcome of the experience. Your feelings about something. Your feelings are what also creates the detail that you experience. However, it also creates your possibilities. So if you have tunnel vision, you're so sure about what you want, you very often may cut yourself off from what else is available. And I know I've experienced this myself, and I've watched as my friends, my family, my clients have done exactly the same thing to themselves. And here's how that happens. If you are so tunnel vision that you will not even contemplate a result outside of what you believe that you want, the expanded version of that may escape you. I want to remind you that there are always so many unknowns for us. The universe sees through the eyes of the soul. And the soul, of course, is always looking for you to expand. And with that, there requires an expansion in vision, inner vision. And so when we are manifesting, there must be an element of flexibility where we are able to say, I want this and more. I want this and more. Now, emotionally, you have to catch up to that. And every time that you feel yourself moving into that tunneled view and forget that there could actually be more that you're not aware of, you have no consciousness that even could imagine it, then you're cutting yourself off from receiving that. So this is all up to you, and I think that this is something that you're really starting to grasp, this concept. Everything that you experience is dependent on your conscious awareness of how you're feeling, what are the energies that you are feeding, and the truth of that energy is what will create that experience, the truth of it. In other words, if you are saying that you have let go of limitations and yet you are constantly being inflexible in any area of your life, the truth is that you are inflexible. The truth is that you have fear about trusting the universe to supply you with your needs or to be a partner in your your creative process. So we must really start to hone in on how we are feeling and then feel it so that you get to know it, so that when that feeling arises again, that you will be able to discover that and determine whether or not it's going to feed you where you want to go or take you further away from it. Because I want you to know that you think often that you know that you're going in a particular direction, but you don't know. And I want to encourage you to create this conscious awareness so that you do know, so that you can feel the energy. And in that feeling of it, you can determine whether or not it has the capacity to create what you want and more. Because there's always more that the universe wants to give you than you're even willing to give yourself. Crazy, right? But it's true. And again, I have experienced this so many times, and when it's happened, I just throw my head back and start to laugh. Laugh at myself and also laugh in delight that the universe always has my back. And it has your back too. You are never, ever abandoned. You are never doing this on your own. However, it must follow your instructions. So when you have a willingness to say, I want all of this and more, it is jumping in absolute delight because it can finally deliver to you everything that you've been waiting for. So take this tidbit of information and, of course, let it marinate. Let it become part of you and remind you of how important it is that you are taking a look inside at who you are at any given moment and the truth of it. Be truthful, okay? And of course, forgive yourself for all those times that you sort of let it pass you by. You're here, right now. And as a creator, new life begins every nanosecond that you choose it to. So I believe this is your time. So let's end with this affirmation. I am a creator. And my new life begins right here and right now. Oh, that's a good one. All right, take it with you. And of course, I'll see you right back here again next week for another fun time of Manifestation Mondays with Marcy. And let's just continue to do the work together. All righty, have a good one. Bye-bye now. So much love to you.